So we know we need to create layouts and assets optimized for different screen pixel densities and sizes. So now's a great time to introduce you to the Android Resource Framework. All externalized Android resources, everything from strings to layouts to drawables and animations, are all stored within your project's res folder. You've already been putting your strings in the strings.xml file stored in the values folder, and you've been putting your layouts into the layout folder. And you know to reference your resources using @ notation within both your XML or within the code, and then at runtime, Android will insert the appropriate resource for you. So far, so good. And here's where things get a little more interesting. Android allows you to create alternative versions of every resource by placing them into folders with different qualifiers. We separate each of those using a hyphen. And we can add those qualifiers based on anything from language and/or dialect to whether the device is docked, the type of touchscreen, the pixel density of the display, the orientation of the screen, and most importantly, for responsive design in particular, the smallest available screen width, which you can support with that layout. At runtime, Android will check the current device configuration, its language, its screen size, pixel density, everything, and then load the right layout, strings, and drawables accordingly. And you can even chain these qualifiers together, for example, to create a different layout for German language users to account for all of those really long German words, or more typically for a combination of screen size and device configuration. Now, keep in mind that many of these values can change at runtime, the most common change being that of orientation. And it's for this reason that Android activities are destroyed and recreated whenever the device configuration changes. And that's because the layout and all of the resources within it could be completely different based on something as simple as a screen orientation change. Now, it's good practice as well to localize your apps and provide translated strings for all of your users using this mechanism. And that's a task made a lot easier thanks to Google Play Publisher site that can offer you this service. It's also a really good idea to provide different drawables at the appropriate pixel density, so you can get a nice crisp image on every device. And when it comes to providing alternative layouts, Android has gone through a few alternative models, starting in the early days with this screen buckets idea of small, normal, large, and extra large. But since Android 3.2, the new smallest width qualifier has given us much more fine-grained control over our layouts.